Peace to the family. Oh, let me grab this. Peace to the family. How y'all doing? Peace to the gods. I'm about to go live on YouTube in a second, but I wanted to talk on here a little bit. Some of my Supermind talks. You know, the world has changed as we know it. It will never go back to the way that things used to be. It will never go back to the way things used to be. I want to ask y'all a question. And thank you for all the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Do y'all feel it too? Do y'all feel it too? Something very important. Do y'all feel the change, the shift? I mean, it's easy to see just when you get on social media. You get on social media and it feels this consistent anxiety, overt racism. The news is consistently negative. It's over-politicized, right? It feels like there's a consistent psyop that's just being ran on you and ran on you. Think this. Here's your narrative. Here's your thoughts. This is what's wrong. This is what's right. This is what's bad. Fight, fight, fight. Do you feel it too? The internet as we know it is dead. The internet as we know it has died. There was a study at the University of Zurich, I believe, where some people on Reddit had deployed AI bots. Now, I talked about this at my Save Yourself tour, but they had deployed AI bots, and some of these AI bots pretended to be real people. They pretended to be victims of trauma and sexual abuse and different people on political sides. And what they found out was the people were more easily influenced by the bots than they were human beings. Now, this is dangerous as hell because these bots were able to hack the human being. The same way you think about coding, right, an app or a phone or a platform, these AIs have so much knowledge on the way the brain and neuroplasticity works that it is coding human beings and training them how to think. And it creates a permanent identity within this person because they thought that they were the one that came up with the idea in the first place. I mean, it's another level of warfare that we've never seen in the history at this level. Bots hacking humans, programming them. The human then thinks it's their ideas. In your brain, your neurons disconnect from old habits of thinking and then reconnect with new habits, right? Creating this new identity within yourself. And because you think you came up with it, you end up protecting the thought, defending it, because now you have this cognitive bias. So when somebody comes to you directly and try to tell you something is right or wrong, you will fight them to hell because you thought that you went down a rabbit hole. You thought that you came up with these things on your own, but they've learned how to steer your thought. And the people that are most vulnerable to this, the people that are the most vulnerable in the world to this are those who are stressed out, who are lonely, who have anxiety, depression, poverty, focusing on bills, sickness. They're spending too much time on social media. So now it's easy to control a large group of people. And It means that the largest asset that people need to focus on, this is why I haven't been talking about wealth as much, and we've been studying really on systems of wealth and blueprints of wealth and getting much deeper into it, because the things that I've been studying behind the scenes, it's a whole nother level. There's not any books written on these things. There's only military papers that's written on this, because it's warfare. And the average person don't study warfare, of course, because who has time to? So I was thinking about that. I said, damn, the number one thing to protect right now is your mind. Your mind. And I mean it more than ever has it's ever been. This is a time where you need to protect your mind and develop cognitive security. Because once it gets low, and then you become hackable, and the people that think they're the ones that can't be hacked, think that a psyop can't run on them, it actually works on you the most. The people that are the most confident that you can't get me, it works on you the most, because the way the brain works is that when it's not in this state of hypervigilance, of always looking for threats, of always watching out for things, of always making everything a conspiracy, and you don't have this consistent state of paranoia, it actually makes you more susceptible to being controlled. Now, I've gotten this transmission. It's come to me as a revelation on what I need to be teaching and where this part of my legacy lies in preparing us for what's to come. Because if you can't quite literally save yourself, nobody can help you. And you actually become a liability to those around you, and you won't even know it. You won't even know it. And there's so many people that don't know that they're actually caught up in it. It's like we call it a web. But yeah, it's a web. When hackers, when they share certain like skill sets and techniques on how to hack something, they call it, sharing technology, right? They give new technology to each other, right? New skills, new crafts to be able to do this. And our technology is starting to develop to a level, right, where it's not only that it's smarter than the human being, but that it is being primed to control the human being. And just recently it's shown that it's actually creating is actually creating and inducing, right, these psychotic states in people, because people are talking to their goddamn AI and they're starting to think that they're the Messiah. You talking to the AI, and the AI is telling you, man, that's such a beautiful and brilliant thought. You understand me? Only you think like this, right? And it starts affirming your psychosis. So you end up getting into this digital induced psychosis because people are utilizing this AI, and the world is changing. And it's an invisible change, because what you don't realize is that, like, we went from using the internet to the internet using us. And you're not going to realize the change that's going to happen in people, because they're now by themselves getting their thoughts affirmed, thinking that it's true, and don't know actually how to research to find the truth, because the AI can tell you something so sweet, so smooth, that you think everything you came up with was actually right. You think your narratives are right. Your form of history you studying is right. Your opinions, the fact that it's giving you is all right. And you just creating this whole entire reality. It's like having a friend that's just around you at all times to affirm all your idiocracies in a manner that is so believable that you actually end up caught into this psychosis. And when you step in the world, you're not as smart as you think you are. You're not the actual goddamn Messiah. And we're going to have a world of crazy ass people, and you're not going to be able to tell them nothing. See, the most dangerous thing that we're dealing with right now is that people lose all autonomy to think for themselves. All autonomy. That you no longer know how to think at all. You become so dependent for the AI to write like you, for you to feel like yourself. It's like the AI is becoming a better version of you. So now you don't know what to do without it, and you become so dependent on it that you need it to be yourself. Did you know that the biggest epidemic that we're facing right now is loneliness? The biggest epidemic that we're facing right now is loneliness. And loneliness is as unhealthy as 15 cigarettes a day. Just think about that. Think about if you smoke 15 cigarettes a day. How unhealthy that would be. That's what they've now concluded how dangerous loneliness is on your health. How unhealthy and how dangerous it is. 15 cigarettes. So now we have the loneliest generation, loneliest population ever on the planet Earth. And when people are lonely, what are they searching for? Coping mechanisms. What they searching for? So now they smoking, now they drinking, now you finding anything to try to stimulate you. And you by yourself utilizing AI in this room, in the dark, getting all your ideas, thinking that you actually getting truth. But the AI is controlled by someone else. They tell the AI what to say, what not to say, how to steer thoughts into certain directions, which narratives to push, which narratives not to push. So the whole time you think you're using AI, the AI is actually using you. Because you think you get more clever, more original, more creative. And you're not. You're actually just becoming more dependent. And the cognitive security is bad. So it could be you. It could be your child. It could be a loved one. And everybody's brain is being hacked and reprogrammed in ways that we won't be able to understand. Maybe ever. There are going to be studies that keep coming out about this and how it's affecting human beings. And how what people thought was the Skynet moment of Terminator attacking us with robots. Maybe that happens sometime in the future. But it was really just actually us utilizing the robots. And the robots are learning from an unstable population of people, and not all people. The robots are learning from the oppressors. Why? Because the oppressors are the ones who told history. The oppressors are the ones who documented things the most. They are the ones who were able to put their frequency and their information online and have it documented. So the AI is pulling from this documentation of what is perceived to be truth. It's not pulling from what they call pseudoscience, or they're not pulling from people who talk in slang, because it's going to rate it lower. So what information are you being pulled from? AI is not evil. It's only a representation of its creators and its users. And there are some of us that can utilize it in a manner to where, and if you're not, you have to be very vigilant as you're utilizing it. But some of us have a mind to understand what's true, what's not true, how to research, what's misinformation, disinformation, malinformation. Boy, if you thought what people believed online that they've seen on a post was something, imagine when people are at home studying something and they're just getting completely false information. And they're just walking around with this brain that's just full of lies. How does that distort reality when everybody has their own facts? How do you get people to align or unify on anything? And who is it affecting the most? Well, we are in a time where the education is the lowest. The literacy rates are the lowest. The mental illness is the highest. That right there, and loneliness is the highest. That is a recipe for global disaster. We're grading the economy based on how well the rich are doing when we talk about the stock market. Stock market is up. That's great. The rich are doing fine. Those of us who can afford to buy the dip, buy the dip. Those who got it, they got it. But then there's a whole entire cognitive epidemic that's happening. And we don't even have the capacity for empathy to care about other human beings in that manner anymore. Our capacity to care about other human beings has diminished because we don't have the what? We ain't got the time. We ain't got the goddamn time. The loneliness makes you so important. Your individual ego becomes huge. What saves that is community, being around other individuals, reflecting what other humans do, looking another human in the eye, because we stare into the eye of a camera now more than we stare into the eye of another human being. So imagine a child that is staring at a screen, a black mirror, more than they stare at the black night and the stars. They're staring at the LED lights. The disconnection that's happening because they're now being ran by the algorithm. The will of the algorithm versus the will of God. So, this is what I've been studying deeply. I've been studying deeply and profoundly of, when I say save yourself, there are a lot of things that go into this. And I see people on social media that don't have time to study the things that I do, and I appreciate them for what they're teaching. But we're not understanding the depth of the issue, and it's so deep. You know what I'm talking about? The way that this government is running it's a different kind of level. I think that people are looking for oppression and slavery and COINTEL 2.0 and Jim Crow 2.0 to look like a certain way of things. And it's not going to look like the way you think. This is now invisible warfare that's happening to you. And sometimes the seed does not set. The seed does not set until you're lonely, until your cognition is low. That's when those thoughts that was on social media start to enter your brain. That's when the negative thoughts, that's when the overconsumption of bad news hits you. And then you're left with nothing but brain rot. They don't hit you when you're at your highest. Nah, that's when you actually have the cognitive defense to be able to deal with it. They hit you when you're at your lowest, when you're at your weakest. So when it comes to us developing these mental and cognitive security, and when we talk about higher consciousness, this is no longer like what people think is like a luxury, a buzzword. No, it is now the biggest necessity, because it's the only way for you to even have a level of normality in a world that is being sped up consistently. As the world is speeding up faster, if your cognition is not getting higher, if your consciousness, quite literally, is not getting higher, then your defense system is low. And it is similar to a computer that doesn't have really good firewalls. You're being hacked and you don't know it. You think that you can just be on social media and scroll. You can just hop on Twitter. No. information is getting past your conscious brain and going to your subconscious mind and determining the way you feel, see, or think about things in a way going straight to the beast brain instead of that God mind. About. I embed everything with symbolism. I talked about my fashion earlier. You said it froze up. Can y'all hear me? Damn, how they go freeze the God out? We about to go ahead and get on this. We about to go ahead and get on the YouTube. Tell me my wife crazy because I can see y'all clearly. Damn. What the fuck? These devils.